Hi everybody, I'm Pixie Polite and welcome back to my YouTube channel. You're watching Pixie's Paintbox this week, the series where I recreate one of my UK Season 4 Drag Race sisters' makeups. And today it's episode 2, which means I'm going to be attempting to do, and I do mean attempting, a Starlet inspired makeup look. I have had a look at her Instagram. She is the definition of makeup artistry. I'm gonna do my best to pay homage to her today. We're gonna see what kind of car crash we end up with. I'm gonna be using these pictures as inspiration for my Starlet makeup today. And I am actually gonna be painting myself blue, because one of the things Starlet loves to do is paint herself crazy colors. So stick around, grab your brushes, and join me for Pixie's Paintbox. So, oh god, it's going to be absolutely awful. On the pictures that I'm using, Starlet, it's basically a slay, gorgeous beauty face, but entirely in blue. I have to admit, I have never done a non-skin color tone on my face before. But, especially for this video, I've gone ahead and purchased this blue paint stick, which, I mean, isn't going to be the exact right kind of blue based on the wig that I've got, but I reckon this will be a good mid shade if we can do some highlighting with some clown white. So I have this Go-Ho face and body paint stick. It's the color light blue from, I think, Meron, whatever that brand is. I found it on the internet. This is going to require a lot of mixing of creams, I think. Mix in my little mixing pot some darker blue for the brows. Now, the wig that I'm wearing is a sort of denim color, so I guess that's what I should attempt to do. So I have a couple of different blues as options. So I do have a Kryolan blue I could use to mix in with it. I also have some blues in the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette, which we got from DragCon. Thank you, DragCon. Thank you, Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I think I'm going to use the dark blue shade E4 from that and mix it in my little mixing pot with some clown white to try and get the right shade. It will make sense at the end when you see the colour of the wig. Let's do it. So I don't know if there's a specific way you should do this as a makeup artist, but generally what I do is I just take a whole chunk of clown white out of my little palette and then I just scratch some eyeshadow into it. Is that wrong? I don't know. That's how I've done different coloured creams before if I haven't got them. So yeah, let's give this a little mix. Little mix, hey. Okay, this is already looking like a good colour. It's a similar sort of colour to my wig. Also, so very similar to that. It looks see-through on the background. I'm gonna add a bit of more pigment to it. Just mix that in, I'm trying to darken it up slightly. I've mixed that now to a sort of shade that I like. And I guess I'm just gonna map out my brows first. Oh, I don't have a mirror. That would be really helpful, wouldn't it? Oh gosh, I should get one of those. I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
Hello, I'm back. I have a mirror, as you can probably see in front of me. Woo! Starlet has a very normal shaped brow in this. Her brows tend to be quite thin and arched and high. Now, I have mixed it with my little flat brush, so I think I'm going to use the thin end of that to just try and shape it first as it's got the product on it, because I've not got an awful lot of it there. Now, she tends to start her brow, or at least in this picture anyway, on her natural brow bone here and arched up and out. So I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. Right, now, I've done my best. I'm going to try and do the other one now. I'm going to trust the process. No. I'm going to be blue tomorrow. You can see it now. I'm not getting on with my brush. I was trying to be sensible and save product, but it's not happening. So instead, I'm going to clean a little angle brush and then I'm going to use that instead. We've given that a bit more shape. It's still not the best, but we can try and fix it when we carve it out. Okay, that one's better than this one. So I'm going to wipe this one off and do it again. Can you tell that I'm really trying? Feeling a lot of pressure, everybody. I want to do her proud. Okay, everybody, I'm about 20 minutes in. They're okay. I'm pleased with them. Considering how many times I had to wipe them off, like 3 times, is it? I can't remember. And how many times I went in to try and fix them. Every time I look at Starlet, I just can't understand how she's that stunning. She has such a very distinct vintage style. Everything's so refined. Like with my makeup, I quite like clean lines, and she does everything very clean. It's all very precise, but so soft. I always find mine's very hard and draggy. Stay tuned. Next. Oh my god. Okay, so now what I've done is I've attempted to mix some of my blue pan stick with some white. I'm going to try and carve out my brows. I'm hoping that that's pale enough. That feels like it's enough contrast. We'll find out. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll blend some of that up here to use as my sort of general forehead foundation. Try and mix a separate little lighter version just to go around the edge, and then I'm going to try and buff this lighter blue into this forehead blue. Oh, pray for me. There is some difference there, but I don't mind that. That works for us because we can blend that into our highlight. That's like not so bad. I didn't think this through because I do not have sponge or blending brush that I can use to blend blue. I guess buy a new one tomorrow. I'm gonna go wash this. I'll be back.
A few moments later.
I'm back. Wash my sponge. We're gonna hope for the best now, everybody. As I attempt to just gently blend. Generally sponging. Sponge, sponge, sponge. Sponge, sponge. Right, I've buffed that as much as I think I'm going to be able to. So I'm gonna go back in on the very high point of my forehead with some white right here, because she always has this very blinding sheen of white right here. I think other than that for my forehead, I'm gonna leave it. There's still a bit of blue on this, but that's okay because it doesn't have to be blinding white. Rather than going straight back in with the white under my brow, while I've got this on my sponge, I'm going to blend the centre of my eyebrows here over my nose. She doesn't have a very severe nose contour. It seems to be very blended and powdery. Well, not powdery, but like, it's not like harsh lines like I'd usually do. So I guess let's lay down this colour now so that I can then just slightly shadow with a darker colour later. We're going for it. But I'm just going to use my fingers then to just sponge in the end of my eyebrow to try and sort of ombre it. Her brows are quite soft. That's as good as we're gonna get. Just so that none of this moves, I'm gonna powder down. I'm gonna do something I've not done for many years, and that is powder with talc, because I only have tinted face powder and I need something that's clear, and I used to use talc back in the day and it worked okay. Yeah, I don't know. How the fuck do you do this, Starlet? Starlet! I am starting to give Violet Beauregard a run for her money. One thing I am finding with this pan stick, it's a bit patchy. I feel like it's just like moving, which is kind of why I want to set it down now. I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to take my, I'm going to ruin my sponge. I'm going to have to buy a new powder puff, everybody. Here we go. Powder down. This has got a nice little scent to it, this talc. This is talc I got on my recent holiday in Portugal. Polvos de talco. Let's brush some of that excess off. I mean, overall, so far, it's okay. It could be worse, he says. We're going to clean the brush, and I'm going to go back in with the white and carve out under my brow. And hopefully that will make all of this look better. I genuinely don't know how she does this. This is what I mean when I say it's artistry, because, see, I'm just a drag queen who can sometimes do a bit of makeup. I'm not a makeup artist. Okay, that's giving sharp. Let's blend that down. Buff that out. Okay, rinse and repeat. Sponge. I think that's looking pretty decent so far. I can see the vision. Now, the crease of the eye is the same colour as the brow. Obviously, I've done two different tones of blue, but I think I'm going to do the same as that she's done here and do the same colour in the crease as in the brow. I'm going to go back in with my eyebrow cream colour that I mixed. I'm going to sort of whack a line there and then buff it out. Potentially with my finger due to my lack of brushes and sponges. I did not think this through. It's going to look slay. Let's do it. Right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's quite rounded. Okay, so I brought that sort of to a point here just so I can visualize where the end of the eye and the liner, I guess, will go. And I think what I'm going to do now is, as I say, blend the very top edge of that blue into the white with my finger. I'm going to just keep buffing here. Buffing the vampire slit. That's given us the rough blend of the eye. While I've had that on my finger, I've just blended some of that down into my nose just to try and give the shadow, just to save us all some time. I'm going to finish this one eye and experiment. And then once I've done this one and figured out how to do it, I'm going to copy it on that eye. I'm going to just take my white and swipe. We're going to go back in with some pure white because she has a pure white eyeball. It comes through like a nice point. She goes kind of straight across from the eye. I love the contrast. I've tried to angle that up slightly because obviously she uses the face tape, so everything's very like, and I don't have that. So I reckon I could angle that up even slightly more, you know. On the brow bone. Right, that's what we've got. I think I'm going to use my brush that I usually use for white powder and just use that to sort of buff this. I'm going to leave that as is and do the other eye off camera, unless I've got anything fun to say, and then I'll come back. So BRB.
One eternity later.
I'm back. This is what we've got. It's a little bit wonky, but not too far off. So let's finish the eye. Thin liner in the center. I'm going to swoop it all up into this line that I've created on this side to get the sultry look we're after. Actually, do you know what? Before that, I'm going to go in, really highlight and contour what I've done so far. I'm going to just put some white here, and then I'm going to go in with my shimmer and just do a really aggressive spot there, because she does a very shiny central point here. Let me just do a little highlight on my nose, just on that one point of my nose. It's definitely a lot more pronounced there than hers is. Let's get some contour going. Soft buff contouring on the nose. I don't think it looks half bad, honestly. I will use some of that dark powder I used for the brow colour blue. Just gently buff that. How does that look? Oh, it's a bit patchy. Oh no. I've ruined it. I've ruined it. Oh no. Let's just rub it and hope that it blends. Blend, please blend. Oh, okay, that's sort of helping. Oh no, it looks so bad. I can't tell if it's my skin or if it doesn't look that bad in person. This is why it takes her so long to get ready, everybody, because, well, obviously she knows what she's doing, and she also has all the correct products and has done this before. Do you know what? I'm leaving the forehead. I'm not touching it again. It's fine. Some of that will get covered by the wig. We're fine, fine. No more contouring the forehead. Ah! Right, we're doing eyeliner. I'm just going to swoop it all across my lid there. And then we've got to just marry that line in with the line on my lid. Marry the line. I'm really sorry, everybody. I feel like I'm not being very chatty today. It's just because I'm really concentrating, because I really want it to look nice. And also, I've just had a really awful day. It's been very stressful. Today's my only day off, and I knew I had to and wanted to get this video done for you. I'm probably a bit low energy. I'm very sorry. My eyes are so hooded that this thin line on my eyelid isn't working. I'm just going to colour in my whole lid so that I can get like a nice meeting line, because you see here where it curves like that sort of over my eye. I want it to be like a nice swooping line. Oh my god. Trying to do a black eyeliner on this clown white oil paint, oil, whatever this is. What is it? I'm losing my mind. Oil something based makeup. Something phrases. It's very hard because the eyeliner product sort of keeps blending in with the white oil based. Is that it? I don't know. So it's sort of like greying up the eyeliner. Right, that's what we've got. It's quite sharp, quite slay. Gonna just set that with some powder, and then we'll do the other side. Now, Starlet is not the most crazy in your face personality. She's just very dedicated to what she does. She's very good at what she does, and she has such a sweet soul. So I am really glad I did get to meet her. She was someone who I had known from Instagram. I'd obviously seen some of her incredible looks she'd done before the show and been in awe and slightly jealous. If the look is 50% of the mark today, I think I'm doing all right. Now that I've got this eyeliner, I actually am more into this makeup. The more I'm doing it, the more I'm looking at it thinking, this is actually kind of like basically just my normal face, sort of. I've done this eye shape and stuff before. So I'm gonna have to find a way to really make it Starlet. For me, the thing I always think about is that blinding highlight, which I've not quite managed to achieve with the shimmer I've got. The other thing I always think about with her is her lip shape. It's very specific. We'll get to that when we get to it. Let's try and marry the eyes. Any recommendations for black eyeliner pens? Because I can never find good ones. I tried using the black Kryolan grease paint. Grease paint! Was that it? You know when you start to say something long enough that it just sounds wrong? I think grease paint is what I mean. Grease paint. Grease paint. Grease paint. Yeah. I tried buying like the black grease paint with a little brush, but it just didn't work for me. Is that matching? I reckon that's close enough. One side always just takes so much longer than the other. I mean, I guess I spent ages trying to figure out the shape of this one, and then this one I've just managed to just whack it on. Now, she hasn't done this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to angle the eyeliner into my water corner, inner corner. You see, I'm not qualified to be doing this, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to bring the black into my inner corner, slightly underneath, so I can do the white line underneath it, because I think it will make it more dramatic. Because yeah, that looks like way more dramatic than this like little thin line there. Fierce, slay, hunty boots. She's not done, as far as I can tell, super loads of contouring on her cheeks, but but she definitely is more white and highlighted in the center of her face here, darker shadow here. So I think I'm going to do a slightly different color base. I'm going to use this for my base. I'm going to use this that I used to carve above my brow with a bit of extra white for my highlight areas. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the color I mixed to my eyebrows, just sort of here to contour slightly. Hopefully, in theory, I won't need to do any powder contour necessarily, because the last time I tried that, we did this, not the tea hunty. I'm gonna bring this like up to here to really like try and, I guess, thin out my face. Well, that's a very different blue now I've done that. Let's blend it out and see how we go. Blend it out and then we can go back in with some of the other colours. Don't forget my ears. Paint everywhere in your ears for days. I might have to take this off. Oh my God, I'm gonna be have full nips out on YouTube. I can't do that. No, it's fine. Oh my God, you can really see my under eye bags. I need to start copying the other girls and getting some Botox. I'm gonna go with my white and just do some blended out areas of white. Because like I said, she's very bright in the center. As far as the highlight area goes, that's not the worst. It has diffused that like very wrong color blue. If I now go over the other parts of my face with the blue I used on my forehead, I might be able to color match the rest of my face. This might work as long as I have enough of this color. I'm really scraping the pan, everybody. My neck's just gonna have to be a different blue. That's okay. Let's go over all these areas that I put this new color on. By some miracle, everybody, I think this is gonna work. I'm reasonably pleased with it. I look like a Smurf. I'm just the color of the background. Can you see me? I'm gonna go back in now with some of this color that I had for my brows and just, I guess, just like place it on. And I think what I'll do is I'll blend it with my fingers the same way as I did the brow. I did put a bit on the end of my nose just to try and like really emphasize that like shiny spot at the end. And then I guess I'm just gonna buff with my fingers. And it's funny how when you're like a kid at like nursery, you do finger painting, and sometimes it just comes back to that. That's not half bad. It has given me some shadow there. I remember after the first day, so we'd walked in, done our entrances, claimed our stations and done all that. The next morning when we were leaving the hotel, Starlet said she'd been up all night practicing her makeup because she knew she had to get ready in a certain amount of time for the runways. Came out of her room and she's like, oh, I've not slept. Been up all night trying to get my makeup routine down. Because she used to take like, I think 4 hours or 5 hours. But I mean, I get it. When you're trying to do this kind of artistry, I mean, I'm trying to do it, well, I'm going to be real with you, everybody. At this point of the video that you've watched, it's probably like 15 minutes, but I've been here about 2 hours already. Okay, that's given me some zhuzh there. I'm just going to drag my sponge underneath it. I will do a bit of dual contour and then powder it down. I should have been a Smurf for Halloween. I could have done this and gone out afterwards. It's not half bad. I don't think I'm going to risk doing any powder contour, but I think I am just going to, without taking any extra product onto the brush I had, I am just going to like buff the very top edge just to try and deepen it along that line. That has helped. Okay, I'm gonna risk it, you guys. That has made a big difference, actually. Give it a gentle swipe along the jawline. Okay, this has actually turned out like all right. Needless to say, sorry, going back to my earlier story, she did manage to get ready in time, bless her. We were worried with 2 runways in the first episode. She did really well. If you can still look that absolutely stunning, when you usually take 5 hours and you've got an hour and a half and you can look that good, good for her. I think I actually remember saying to her, you know, you in an hour is going to be 10 times better than me in 5. Just to try and make her feel better, you know? And hopefully it did. Okay, now a bit of shadow on this eye has really whooshed. Still needs a bit of a blend because it's a bit harsh, but it's given it that more sultry feel. It sort of framed that swoop more in a way. She has this harsh white line going from the black line of her liner underneath. I'm going to take this little brush, little fine point brush from Cryolan, and I'm just going to dip it into the clown white and we're just going to swipe a line, I guess. Do you know what? I look nothing like Starlet, but I still look pretty fierce. Oh, I like that. Oh yes. I'm going to put white on my lower waterline as well. It will really define the eye and just make my eyes pop and look a bit bigger. Oh my God, yeah, I love it. Look at that. Giving us a bit of a doll eye. Oh my God, I look incredible. She's humble. We're nearly there, honestly. I don't really understand this. I thought it was going to be an absolute car crash. Let's do the lip. I actually have a blue lip. This is the Kiko Instant Color Matte Liquid Lip. in the shade, I don't know, because I'm not sure where it says it. Blue, in the shade blue. I'm pretty sure Tia bought this for season 2 for her pantomime runway, which I'm sure if you scroll back on Instagram you can find. It was like a blue and gold panto pirate. This was the lipstick we bought, and we said we'd never use it again, and I thought, well, I'll take it and put it in a drawer, maybe I will, and today's the day. Oh my god, it's a perfect colour. Oh my god, this is gonna be, oh, we're nailing it! Boo, 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 boo. So now that I've got this colour on and I've been excited about how nicely it matches, this has been a bit of a journey, everybody. Like Starlet, it's been a little bit goofy. I'm going to go back in with my little angle brush and just try and outline the edge of the lips into that specific Starlet shape. We're going to go very deep in the Cupid's bow. This might be hard to do with the contour shape of my natural lip, but she kind of has almost like a heart in the middle, and then it sort of disappears and then flicks up. Okay, I think the center of my lip there is okay. I'm gonna like sweep it out and then try and do that flick. I think it makes sense. That's the lip. I think we've done quite well. Now, in order to make this super Starlet, I feel like we need to incorporate stars in some way. So, there's another image of her, which I will put up here. She does these like little stars on the start of her eyebrows, and I think I'm gonna attempt to do that. This might go terribly wrong and make it all terrible. I'm gonna do it. Okay, slightly wonky, but I think they're pretty good. Okay, everyone, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna go put a few stones on, put my lashes on, get into the full look, and I'll see you in a sec. Be right back. Okay, everybody, this is the finished look. I don't really look like Starlet, but we've taken inspiration from the master and we have attempted to recreate it like a child with crayons. This is what we've got, and I think it's all right. Obviously, my lace line is my normal skin colour because that is the colour of the lace of this wig. But other than that, we've got our stars in our hair, got our rhinestones on our eyes. I'm not gonna lie, I think I look pretty damn gorgeous. Thanks for joining me for this week's episode of Pixie's Paintbox. I'm sorry I wasn't full of joy and laughter and stories like I usually am. Please do go and follow Starlet on all social media though. She is absolutely incredible. Now that I've attempted to do what she does, I have even more respect for her than I already did. Go and support that gorgeous girl, and yeah, I guess support me too. If you like this video, give it a like, a thumbs up, share it with your friends, follow me on all the social media, follow Starlet, and I'll see you next time on the next episode of Pixie's Paintbox, where I'll be painting inspired by the icon, the legend that is Copper Top. But before that, I'll be back next week with another episode of the Pick Stop dressed like this, dressed like Starlet. So I'll see you there. Bye. 'Cause I'm the one to give it to you.